Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. We are making this little Dollar Tree hack that I have for you. These are 6x8 notebooks. I bought them both at the Dollar Tree. The covers were unfortunate, so it was a good time to go ahead and do a quick little cover for each one. And they have pockets on the inside, and I think they would make a really nice gift for the holidays or to give for a birthday, any time of year, just to keep in our little gift stash. They're very quick, very inexpensive to make. I can't wait to show you how I put these together. So come back and let's make some notebooks. All right, before we get started with covering our notebook, I wanted to give you a peek on what I used to cover this notebook. And this is Foggy Forest 12x12 pattern cardstock from hot off the press. And it is a beautiful winter collection. It also has a lot of Christmas things in it, but I find that it just takes us from Christmas all the way into the winter months. And as you can see, it's beautiful for those people who love the outdoors. It's foggy and misty and just gorgeous. Look at the bear there silhouetted. And then we've got this little jar here, which is so cute. It's kind of divided up into segments here, which is great for those of us who like to cut apart our paper. We've got our stag there, and then on this side you've got different elements here, and then you get two of each of these. And then we've got this one, and this is the one I used here. I actually took this part for the front, and on the back I used this part. And that left the whole bottom for what's going to happen on the inside, which I'll show you. And then we've got all of these cutouts, which are just great. As you can see, there are some that are sort of Christmassy, and then we've got very, like Merry Christmas, but also Happy Birthday. And I'll be using this collection a lot more in the coming weeks. So let's put this over here. All right, so let's take a look inside our little revamped notebook. So I always like to make a little tie closure when I can. And as you can see here on the front, once I went ahead and inked the edges of that cardstock, and then I used some of the cutout borders and this nice little oval, this guy right here. And then on the inside, I used the bottom part of that 12x12 to make a pocket. And I thought about covering the top there because it is just cardboard. But I thought, you know, it would just add more bulk to it, so we'll just leave it. It did add one cutout there, and I love the tabs. I think that is just what really kind of makes this notebook a real time saver, because you're putting your energy and your supplies into the cover, and the inside is already done here, and I think that's great. So we've got another pocket on the back, and then of course the back cover. All right, so let's get into making our other book. And I wanted to show you how I do this and how I put this together. It's such a quick make, you guys. So for this one, we're using Windflowers 12x12 patterned cardstock from hot off the press. And I love this one because it's great for the coming spring and summer months. So we've got these beautiful, beautiful flowers and the corner sort of motifs going on. This all over pattern, which is gorgeous. The blues, and then these beautiful pink with this sort of text going on. The borders are gorgeous, so vibrant. And this beautiful blue, and then this one's got that green, and these just pop. And then we've got some great cutouts that we're going to be using as well, and then that all over pattern. All right. So I have chosen for my 2 sheets, because I mentioned it just takes 2 sheets to do this project. That's why it's so great and so fast to do. It's inexpensive for sure and fast. So if you're not using this size book, this 6x8 book, I wanted to show you how I cover it so that you can manage it with any size book. They had various designs that could be used for this technique at the Dollar Tree. So if you find you have a journal at home that you want to cover, I just want to show you how I do it. So I'm not going to be giving you a lot of measurements here. The first thing I like to do is I start with my cardstock. And there is right here, I should mention, there is that binding. There's a fold there for the binding. And so we want to give some space there for that to be freely moved around. All right, so we're going to take our cardstock and we're just going to put it right about there so that we have this nice border going around, see, on these two sides. And then we're going to accommodate the right side by making a little mark here and making a little mark here. All right, and then I'm going to take my paper cutter, and because we're going to be using this one sheet of 12 by 12 for the front and the back, I'm just going to take this, and this is where the mark is down here. There we go. And for those of you who are interested, that mark comes in at, well, that's about 5 3/4 wide. So we're going to go ahead and cut that one. And then what I do for the second one is I just put one on top of the other, and I just use that first one as my pattern, line that up, and there you go. That's for the front and back cover. All right, now to do the patterned, just take one of these and we're going to put that right there. Now this does have this sticker on here that is really just encroaching in our space. So I'm just going to peel that off, and it's usually they kind of get torn up. That's fine. We're going to cover it anyway. All right, there we go. All right, so I want to use the bottom portion of this paper is just gorgeous. So we're going to be placing that right over this, what's going to be that purple mat. And we're going to do the same thing. We're marking here and we're marking here. Oops, my pencil needs to be sharpened right there. All right, paper cutter. We're going to keep this piece for the pocket that's going to be coming soon. And then there's a bottom mark right there. We're going to be using that far side on the far right, so we want to move that over, use that as our pattern, and there we go. That's it, you guys. That's kind of it. And then we're taking this bottom piece right here, and that's going to be the pocket on the inside. That's rather tall for a pocket, so we're going to trim that down to 4 inches tall, and then we're going to cut that in half, so that's going to cut to 6 inches. All right, we're going to save those for the inside. I'm not going to need this again, I don't think. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and glue the mat, the purple, on the front and back cover, and then we'll be right back. All right, so we've got our mats glued on, and then I like to go ahead and, before I glue these on, do a little inking around the edge. I'm just using a little black ink, and I've already done the back cover piece and now this one, and I like to do that little bit of inking. It adds a little bit of depth, and it's like adding a little bit of a frame around our pretty art. Just makes that edge stand out a little more. But before we glue this down, we're going to use some ribbon for our closure. So this is 1/2 inch wide purple. It's kind of almost a lavender gingham ribbon, and I'm using about 24 inches. So I'm going to just wrap that around here. very nicely. And then I just like to make sure that they're even, just like that. And I'm going to just use a little bit of glue right across the front here. Just like that. And then normally I would let that dry for a few minutes, but we're just going to turn that over. And we're going to do the same thing on this side, just a little bit of glue all the way across. That's just going to keep everything in place for when we do our next steps. And see, I've got it all wrinkly, but that's easy to fix. We just give that a little pull. There we go. That's going to get covered anyway. So here is our front piece. And I do like how that little bit of gingham just peeks out there. I think that's very sweet. We're just going to put a little bit of glue right on top of that ribbon. We're going to get glue right on the sides and the edges, because that's really what's getting handled the most here. That's what is getting the most wear and tear. We're going to put that right there, and we're just centering that with that nice purple matte. I really love the colors of this. It's going to be really pretty. And I think that this is just a nice, simple gift to have in your little stash of gifts for the holidays, for birthdays, any time of the year. Paired with a nice card, I think it would be really pretty. Do a coordinating card for this using this same collection of paper. How pretty would that be? There we go. My ribbon on this side is just not cooperating. There we go. All right, so now that looks so nice. And then look at the inside here. It matches those colors. Looks so nice with what's going on the front. And now I have some cutouts here that I've selected, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. We could do the "You Are the Best," which would be a great gift for a friend. Of course, the "Best of Friends." And then "You Have My Heart," which is very sweet. So let me think about that while we do our little inside pockets here. Once again, I'm going to ink that top edge, but only the top edge. All right, and now we're just going to open this up. And that's going to go right here on the inside. We're going to have a little bit extra over here that we can just trim off very easily. And I'm just going to put some glue on 3 sides here. Oops. There we go. And we don't even have to get like right in that ditch right there, that binding. We can just move it over a little bit. It's going to be just fine. We do want to make sure that that's adhered. And then we're just going to take our scissors and trim that even with the front. And then we're going to do the same on the back, and then really the inside of this is done. We're just going to go ahead then and put our little greeting, or nothing at all even works. In fact, what if we did that? What if we didn't put anything on the front and we just put a special greeting on the inside? I think the cover is pretty enough really to just stand on its own. All right, and we're going to trim this. So yeah, we could do the "Best of Friends," "You Are the Best," or "You Have My Heart." I think "You Are the Best" makes just a really nice gift, and it's just kind of a nice reminder too. I'm grabbing the wrong scissors here. I always tell you guys, use the smaller scissors when you're cutting out something small. Yeah, I think this will be a nice little reminder when you give this to a friend that you just think they're the best. I think that's very sweet. Right, and then I always like to, when I'm cutting something out like that and it has that white edge, just go ahead and ink that. And then if you do have any little pieces of white showing, it covers that up and it just makes it look more finished, so you don't have any little white edges peeking out rather. So that's really nice to put that right there. There we go. All right, and then that will get tied and it will look so pretty. So let's just take a little flip through here. So we've got our pretty cover, our pocket right here, which of course we could just even cut this out and put another little thing in there. And then we've got our little pocket in the back right there. I'm going to tie this up and it's going to look so sweet. While I'm tying this, I should remind you guys that if you like, comment, and subscribe on this video, that will automatically enter you into our little contest where you can win one of these cute little notebooks. And to find out if you're the winner, you just watch next week's video where we will announce who that winner is. And then you would just email us and then let us know you've seen it, and we will send that to you. Get some snail mail, which is always fun to get. And as I said, this is just another quick gift idea for those of you who like to have some ready gifts made. They're perfect, I think, for the holidays, for the winter months, and for the coming summer. They're just really nice to have. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to be entered into winning one of these little notebooks. And I hope you enjoyed our little makeover today, and we'll see you next time.